So in this video, we're going to put together a little crypt treat box. We have had some requests over the years for a little crypt or a mausoleum, whatever you want to call it, and we've delivered. So let's take a look here, what I have in front of me. It's a box, and it's pretty straightforward. We're going to start by just putting together the bottom of the box, the actual container. It's a very, very simple little piece here. So go ahead and get everything folded. Now I did run some ink along the edges here just to kind of give it more of a cryptic, weathered sort of look. Totally optional, as most of this is going to be hidden anyway once you put the lid on. So not sure if you want to do that, but I did just because I love Halloween and I might as well give it my all. I pretty much give it my all on every project, but anyway. So we're going to start with this tab here. Get your glue out to the very edges here. Okay, and we're going to connect this. Now this is going to be the bottom of our bottom. Okay, so we want to connect this right here. And I'm just lining it up on my surface, on my table here. Just make sure that the top is nice and flush here, and then just fold that tab over. Give it a second to grab its initial hold, and then you can fold it over on top of itself and take a look at that edge and make sure that everything looks good, and it looks good to me. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put some glue on this tab so we can close this piece up now. And I'm going to get that glue out to the edge here as well. Okay, and you should literally be able to just take this, put this down flat, and then fold this piece over to connect it. Just make sure that it's nice and aligned. There we go. And then fold it over onto itself. It should fold nice and flat. That's a good indicator that you got it spot on. Okay, so now you can put it up like this. Let's move this out of the way. And we'll get our glue on the 3 tabs here. And I'm going to do one little line right up to the edge in just a moment here. Oh, that didn't work too well. There we go. And a little bit there. And a little bit there. And then go ahead and spread that out to the very edges. Make a nice little container for whatever you decide to put in here. More than likely, it's going to be some sort of a sweet treat. Okay, so now you want to go ahead and take this and flip it over. Focus on aligning the side opposite of this hinge side. Try to get that spot on, nice and centered. And when you do that, the rest of it should just kind of fall into place. You can run your thumb or whichever finger right along the very edges of this piece here, and then flip it over. You can push those tabs down from the inside and take a look at your work. Everything looks great. Now, take a little bit of glue, just run it around the perimeter and a little bit in the center. We can take this piece, pop it right inside, a little extra reinforcement, and pretty it up a little bit to hide those tabs. Okay, so there's our container. Very simple. And now, let's put together our roof. Okay, so here is the main part of our roof, and then we do have some panels that are going to go on top of this. And this is it's a symmetrical piece, so it doesn't really matter where we put what. I went ahead and pre-folded this, and I also hid it with a little bit of a teal or a turquoise ink. Okay, this color that we're using is Surf. It's by AC Cardstock or American Crafts. And this brown here, I went ahead and shaded it a little bit with some inks just around the perimeter, and then I used my spiderweb embossing folder to emboss it and give it a little bit of a creepy feel. Okay, so what we want to do is we simply want to place this on each of these little sections here and just make sure that you get it nice and centered so that you've got a nice even border going all the way around. Okay, and then just rotate. Now one of these is a little bit different, and that's going to be the front. And I'd probably recommend putting the front on one of these pieces here so that the The segment there that is going to be glued is in the back. It's still going to look good in the back, but I feel that because these sides are already connected, this will probably be the best looking side, this side here. Okay, that's going to be our front. So, and again, just go ahead and place that right there. Very simple. Now, while we're here, we can actually go ahead and put this piece in place. This little embellishment. Throw some glue on our black piece here, and we're going to glue that to our red piece. And then we're going to take both of these once they're together and glue them right in the center there. There we go, just like that. I'm going to adorn this with some rhinestones later just to kind of bling it out a bit. And then let's get some glue on the back of this. And I'm just going to tacky that up just a tad. And then just pop that right in the center of this circle here. Make sure you've got it nice and aligned, nice and centered. And that looks good. Is that straight up and down? Yeah, I think that's good. All right, moving right along here to our next little panel. And then we'll put the roof together. And then we need the little structure for the roof. That'll be next. And before you know it, got ourselves a nice little treat box. There we go. And the last one. Kind of debossed this one a little bit, but that's okay. I had my folder the wrong way, but it still looks fine. Okay, nice and centered, just like that. All right. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to connect these two sides together. So get your glue and add some glue to this tab here. Do a little bit right up to the edge and just run that glue, spread that glue out to the very, very edge there. And then we're going to connect these two pieces here. And actually, you can do this flat. You may as well take advantage of your surface and do it more accurately this way too. Just like that. Great. And that looks great. Now these tabs here are actually going to be used, we're going to use these tabs to connect this to the vertical portion of the lid. So all that's left to do now is add your glue to these three tabs here. We're going to close the top. Okay, and I'm going to work that glue out to the very edge here. Just kind of tack it, or tap it, and dab it. I'll pull these up a tad so that as I'm pressing down, making more, hitting more of that surface area of the paper. And just make sure it's nice and centered. It's a square piece, so that should go on very nicely. You can flip this over and then press from the inside. And we do have a little topper for this because we're adding a little bit of color to the, well, actually it's gray, but changing it up a little bit. So let's do that. Let's just glue this piece right at the top. And then I'm actually going to adorn this with a cotton spun finial. We used something like that in one of our projects. I don't remember which one it was. I want to say it was probably an Easter project, I'm guessing. I don't remember. But you may have some laying around from a previous project. We're going to pop that right on top and hit it with some rhinestones as well. Okay, so next, we need to put our little structure together. These are, again, the tabs that are going to go inside of our structure to kind of connect the two pieces together. So next up is this section here. Now we've got a series of tabs here, and I do want to make sure that if you do have a design on this that needs to be, you know, a certain orientation, that we do it the right way. But you know what, I don't think it matters right now because we can always flip it around. So we're going to glue this piece to this piece. Let's get our glue on this tab. Work a little bit out to the edge. There we go. And then you can do this flat. Grab your other piece, line it up, and there we go. Just make Make sure that it's nice and aligned. That's good. Give it a second to get its initial hold, and you can go ahead and take it and fold it over onto itself and kind of feel both sides, make sure everything's nice and lined up. Give that one more press. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and take this, and there's our last tab. Put our glue on this tab here. Run that out to the edge. It's nice and thin, very tacky. It should dry very quickly. There we go. And that should lay flat. Then we can take this and fold it over onto itself, onto that seam. Check our work. Everything looks great. Okay, so there's that. So again, as I mentioned, what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece now and pop it inside like so. Make sure the tabs are inside. Okay, and you can see the tabs in there now. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue those tabs in place. Now if you want, you can do the first one kind of flat like this. Whatever works best for you. I'm going to go ahead and just get my glue out to the edge there. And let's see. Just get that nice and lined up. Give it a press. And then I'm going to lift this up real quick and just check my work and make sure that the alignment is spot on. Looks good to me. Okay. Just hold that down for a sec. All right, so that just leaves the remaining tabs here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the opposite side down now. So get your glue onto the tab opposite the side that we just had, that we just connected. Okay. And I'm going to work that glue out to the edges. Just like so. And we can pop that right in and just get it aligned. Like that. And then you can take this and put it on your surface. I'll do that in just a sec here. And just press down from the inside. There we go. All right, so that just leaves two more tabs, and we're gonna have to work from the inside like so. Okay, so you can see that tab there. I'm gonna just put glue on the remaining two tabs. I wouldn't worry so much about getting that glue out to the very edge, and I'm just gonna do both of them real quick. And there we go. All right, so that's all connected now. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got the top and the bottom. Now before we move on here, you'll notice that we've included 4 of these little guys, and these are just kind of little stoppers, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of these and we're gonna put it right onto the center of each of the tabs there, okay? So let me put one on, and then I may need to use my phone to kind of light up the inside so you can see it. Just don't worry about being all meticulous with the glue. A little bit will do. Just kind of pop it in there. It's just one little thickness of paper that'll help the bottom from going up too high. So you can see how I just glued that tab down, okay? Or that little piece right on top of the tab. So we're gonna do that on all 4 sides here, okay? All right, so just working my way around here. And just getting those in place, and then we can put on the little face of our little crypt. And before you know it, we'll be done. So again, just make sure it's nice and flush with the bottom of that tab. Doesn't necessarily need to be completely centered. And you know, honestly, I think this is probably an optional thing, but I just want to make sure that everything works nicely for you. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do is, again, remember this is our front because it's got this little piece on there. And the front is going to have this little design on it with the little arch for our door. Okay, so that needs to be glued down there. So let's do that. And of course you don't want to put any glue up on these little finials, the tops of our little columns here. So keep your glue, and actually you don't need your glue over here either. So keep it on this side of this column here. That part's not going to be glued to anything. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. Let's get our glue on this piece here, just along the perimeter here. Go pretty easy with the glue. I don't think you need a ton. Okay, remember this is our front, so make sure you get the right piece on the front. And I'm going to put this down, make sure it's aligned with the bottom. It's going to be nice and flush with the bottom, and then also the sides. And then just press that down. You can put this down on your surface and push down from the inside. Again, just make sure that it's nice and lined. There we go. Okay, now this one here, this is going to be our back. So I'm going to throw this on real quick. Again, you don't need to put any glue on the little top parts of our little side columns here. Just keep it nice and within the little boundaries there. There we go. Okay, I can put that down on my surface and press down. And then we have two sides. Okay, and just make sure that you position them correctly. Okay, it doesn't really matter if you go this way or this way. I don't think. No, it's fine either way. Okay, so let's get our glue on that, and then pretty much on the final home stretch here. Fun little festive, creepy box for, I don't know, coworker, friend, family member. Definitely a trick-or-treater if you've got one. Now be careful when you're putting that on to not bend the little side pieces there. Okay, that looks good. Maybe should have put on the side pieces first, but just be careful and you'll be just fine. Okay, so there goes that piece. Let's get that piece on there. There we go. And just get that nice and centered. Make sure it's nice and flush with the bottom as well. And there we go. All right, so now if we want, a couple things we can do. Let's do something quick and fun and easy. Let's put our door on here. And our door is going to, there's no markers for the door. So what you want to do is just kind of push it up until it hits these two little corner pieces here. And that's where it's going to need to sit. Just make sure that it's nice and aligned vertically. Let's get our glue on the back of our door. Nice, fun, simple project. Okay, so again, just kind of pop it in there. There we go. Make sure it's centered. Press that down. There we go. Had to kind of nudge it just a tad over that way. Okay, and it's a wooden door, so find these pieces here. Now I went ahead and I ran this through my embossing machine with a nice wood grain texture to kind of add a little bit of realism to it. And you'll notice that on this black door there are some markers to help you with positioning these pieces here, these little overlays. So just kind of follow the little markers there. Now the center's got a little bit of a thicker piece. So get your glue on there and use those little guides to help you with the placement. And we're going to bling this up too with probably some rhinestones and maybe some liquid pearls as well, just to kind of make it creepy and cool. Totally optional though. I think if you're giving this to a child, I think inking and assembling is more than enough, but if you have the time and you want to, absolutely go ahead and give it your all and bling it out. And okay, now we've got a little knocker that we're going to put on this. Okay, so just go ahead and get your glue on the back of your knocker. I think that's the appropriate term. If not, leave a comment and tell me what it's called. I'm calling it a knocker. Okay, and that is going to go right here, like so. There we go. All right, and that just leaves these little pieces here that we're going to throw on like this. Okay, so those are gonna line up with the very edge, and then one side's gonna fold over to the other side. Just make sure you've got the right one, and you'll know it's the right one because it'll line up with and match up with these little cutouts here. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get our glue on these pieces here. Very simple. Don't worry about overdoing it with the glue here. Just go very easy, very sparse with the glue. It's a very thin piece, doesn't need that much to hold nice and tight for us. And I'm going to start by just kind of aligning the top part here and then work my way down, just kind of making sure that everything is laying on top of itself here, or on top of the right area, I should say. And there we go. And then I can go ahead and, I don't think I put glue on that little piece there, I did not. So just throw a little bit of glue here, most importantly right up to the very edge to hold that down, and just fold that over. And there we go. And let's see, I didn't get enough glue in there. Just gonna grab a scrap piece of paper, throw a little bit of glue right on there, and just kind of paint it underneath this little area here where I didn't get enough glue. And just fold that down, press, and there we go. All right, so now we just need to find the other piece for the front, and then I'm just gonna repeat the same thing on the back. Not much to it. Let's get it going. Just like that. Yeah, I may as well put the glue on that little piece there so I don't have to do it later. Okay, just matching it up here with the little cutouts and the top. There we go. Fold that other end over. There we go. You can put that down on your surface too if you'd like. So you can press down, get it to stick a little quicker. There we go. Okay. So last but not least, just going to repeat that same exact process on the back. Very simple. And our box will be done. So I hope you guys enjoyed the process. If you did, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. It lets me know that you enjoy crafting with me. I've got about 23,000 subscribers now, so apparently we're doing something right. So thank you to all of our current subscribers, and if you're not a current subscriber, take a moment and do so you don't miss any of our releases and get notifications, and it would make me very happy too. Okay, so on the last leg here, we got one more little piece to put down, and then we're all but done. Again, I'm gonna add some embellishments and stuff to this piece, so take a look at the final photo. And you know, if you do make this or any of the items from our new bundle, I'd love to see them, and so would the rest of our community. So take a moment and join us in the official group on Facebook by doing a search for Dreaming Tree Group up on top there in your Facebook feed. And you can join myself and I think we're almost at 15,000 now. 15,000 other dreamers that inspire us daily. And that's going to do it for this bundle, or for this project, I should say. The Crypt treat box is all complete. So thank you for crafting with me, and I look forward to doing it again next time.
Stay on top of all things Dreaming Tree and engage with us today. Get the latest news and enter in our giveaways on Facebook. Get inspired by following us on Pinterest. Be the first to see our new product launches on Instagram. Do you prefer Twitter? Yep, we're there too. Watch our beautiful product trailers and assembly tutorials on YouTube. For more information, visit www.3dsvg.com. Live, craft, love, and dream.